Ah, hello, hello, hello. It is Monday, December 6th, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am Tarek Winihisi, also known as Ty, also known as Tech Ty, and I'm joined by my illustrious homie colleague, Rebel. And before we get started, this is the third part of our three-part series, The Importance of Community for Upskilling and Reskilling Professionals. And I thank everyone who has joined us thus far. We are so excited that you have joined us today and or joined us for parts 1 and 2 over the last 3 weeks. So before we go any further, how are you, Rebel?
I am doing great. How are you?
I am glasses up because your girl has had a long day. Momentous, but a very long, merry Monday. So, how are you feeling? Like, are you ready for this talk? I guess this is our most intimate.
Yeah, I'm excited. You feel me? I got my daily cup of tea. I'm ready to spill it. So let's get into it. Like, what more else is there?
Wowzers. This guy needs his own show. This guy right here. I mean, really, I would tune in for that. I definitely would.
You would be a part of it. So
I don't have any tea to spill, my friend, unless it's
that's
helping upskillers and reskillers. Punto finale. But thank you again for joining me and being a part of this conversation for all three parts. I have to say this again before we move any further. Thank you for everyone who has joined these chats, anyone who is engaged in the comments, engaged with each other, engaged with us. You made this happen. So today we, as I mentioned, are going to really be doing more of a deep dive into our personal and professional lives to really drive home how community has helped us and impacted us. So I really think about where I am today in my life, in my career, and how LinkedIn has been a big part of me being able to extend my reach and being a conduit to helping my community, especially, well, especially when it comes to um, finding of jobs, spreading of jobs, sharing of informations, of resources, of scholarships, anything and everything that could help transform and improve and support our professional and personal lives. So I think everyone knows how much I love LinkedIn. And if I haven't said it enough, sponsor me. No, let me bring it. You bring it down. I'm just joking. Or am I? No, I'm just joking. But I really do love LinkedIn. And I don't use the love word for things that are inanimate, but I really do love LinkedIn. I love the community that is growing here. I love the community that I am helping to build and support and serve. So, shout out to LinkedIn. That is the platform that we're hosting this on. So, if you'd like to start, Rebel, I would love to hear more about who you are, and how your community, personally and professionally, has allowed you to grow into the young man that you are. You mentioned your family restaurant. You plugged that part one. I don't know if
Yeah,
you want to come back for that, but part one, we knew what it was. So
yeah.
shout that out first, because those are your people.
Shout out New Eritrean Restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Irving 10th and 11th, come through SF. We out here. You'll literally meet my family. But hello to everybody jumping in the chat. I think so. I try to like sum up, like, I was trying to think, like, okay, if I had to describe like my community's effect in tech, but also just me being in tech and getting into tech, what comes to mind is like Mike Jones, right? The illustrious philosopher who said something that was very wise. And Mike Jones let us know back then they didn't want me. Now
Now
I'm
I'm
hot.
hot.
They all on me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think we needed more than that. That's the first thing to know in tech. I feel like the hardest part, and I'll start it backwards, is getting in.
Mhm.
Once you get in, it's weird because I feel like once you get in and you continue to grow community, all it does is like you have too many opportunities to choose from, right? Like one of my buddies who may be checking this out, I don't know if he's actually out, and I've told you about this opportunity where it's like I grew and grew my community and grew my time in tech, where like I had a couple different startups trying to hit a brother up, and I was all like, nah, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, nah, I got to build a way for the people in the future. But the truth is, it was so weird to me. My first tech job, 3 days after getting it or a week after getting it, recruiters were hitting me up. I had just really put my LinkedIn together, and they're like, I love your experience. Would love to speak with you. And I'm like, y'all are fake. Like, y'all don't want to speak with me all these past 6 months when I was trying to hit you. But now that I'm in somewhere, now that someone has wanted me and picked me up, you want me. But we'll take it back. That's what we're going to get to, but we'll take it back. For me, community literally was the only way I got any opportunity. So talking about that first tech job, I had my experience. I had already built up who I was, but applying to all of these places and just sending in applications, honestly, T, it just wasn't working. And I didn't know anyone in tech.
Oh,
And I was like struggling. I kept sending things in. I was taking odd jobs, trying to see, okay, what's gonna build me up here, what's gonna build me up there. And it was, it's when you're not looking when you find things, right? You know what I'm saying? And I was volunteering. I think there's something very important about helping others, even when you yourself need help. And I'm volunteering. I'm doing this kids program at church. And if I'm being real with you, like it was the craziest thing because this older lady, sometimes old ladies be. I don't know if y'all ever go to church, but they be grabbing you. They'd be like, "Come on, you need to meet this person or this." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm busy running this program for these
uh,
children. Like, I can't."
pardon me. It's not old lady. It's elder.
Elder, my bad. Elder ladies. Also, I love the fact that you call me young because you know good and well I'm not. But so like they had pulled me and I'm all like, yo, I'm trying to like get away. I'm like, no, I'm trying to do this program. She's like, no, you got to meet this dude. I'm like, there's other people that could speak to this. Why me? I know. So I end up doing something else. She grabs me, introduces me to a guy who does not go to church, who does not believe in the same thing I believe in. So we just met randomly. So we just started talking. I'm like, hey, what's up? Start getting to know him. I figure out that he's actually an AE at a company. So he's an account executive at a company working in tech sales. And I was trying to get in tech sales at the time. I get his number and we tap in. And by we tap in, I mean I don't use it and I don't call him. That's the truth. Because so let's be real, right? For all of our reskillers or upskillers, when you're going through this process, and I'm actually curious to see what you think about this, T, is when I
Mhm.
was going through over the year, I was trying to get into tech, and I wish there was SV Academy at that time. I wish there was like any type of upskilling program which I could have taken or reskilling, but there wasn't. when I was trying to break in, like I ran up against a lot of imposter syndrome. And I
Mm.
don't know through what you were doing and through your journey in tech, if you ever ran into something like that. Because I know for me, like that, I mean, that extended my what would have been a couple of months to like almost a year and a half of trying to break in.
Oh, I see you're giving me a segue. Well, thank you for that. I'd like to say that I have never actually dealt with imposter syndrome. I do like that it is a principle that is more defined. So now people aren't suffering in silence. Now there is quote unquote community and an experience around that feeling, because a lot of people seem to think that it's only them. There are 8 billion confirmed people on the planet, and we forget that there are very few experiences or very few events in our lives where we're experiencing that feeling only by ourselves and not and other people aren't feeling it. But it's the minute you express it that you realize that there are people that have felt exactly the same way that you feel and can identify it or feel similar, and then you find some connection. But I've never felt imposter syndrome because I'm supposed to be here. Like, it takes think about it. It takes so much in life, no matter what your beliefs are, religious, political, spiritual. It takes so much for your parents to come together in human history for you to be conceived and born and then make it through the birth canal, those 10 months, because it really is a 10-month process, you know, and then come to fruition, go through all of your schooling. Everything is a new experience, you know. So I never feel like I don't belong because I made it on the planet. I didn't have to, but I made it here. So I've never had a feeling of wanting to belong because I always knew where I belonged. It was with Big T. Well, actually, I'm Big T. He's just Dad T and my mama. So I always knew where I belonged and who I belonged to. So I never had a feeling of being an imposter. I know what I know. I don't know what I don't know, but Google is my boyfriend.
Yeah.
So I will figure it out. So me, I've never dealt with that because I've always had the support of my parents, and I always had access to agency and my voice.
Mm,
So I learned from very young that I needed to communicate effectively. I needed to say how I felt and be concise in that. And I also needed to say that I need support, I need help, and also how to source that support and how to source that help. And just to bring it back, you mentioned you wish there was an SV Academy at that time. And I sourced SV Academy. It didn't source me. So it is on the same page as you, that it is the universe supporting your efforts, affirming your efforts when you put it out there that this is what you want, this is the path you want to move towards. And the universe does its things by bringing those things to you, or having elders in your community, not old ladies, snatch you up and
oh,
say, "Baby, come over here because I want you to meet him and I want you to align," you know? But I do understand that we have doubts and we are unsure, and that can paralyze us at times, or that can stop us, or that can hinder us from making those connections, wondering, are we I I don't know what you felt. So I would let you get back to how you felt. But I have never personally felt imposter syndrome.
yeah.
Continue with that.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure, for sure. And I think you summed it up like we you had your community from beginning, right? And my parents are extremely loving towards me and very supportive. But for some reason that didn't click in my mind, as you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, like they know what's up, and like boom, I have my own agency. For me, I had to find that in community because I don't know what it is, right? And I don't know where it comes from. I'm not a psychologist or anything like that, but I've always idolized certain things, right? Like Ivy Leagues, or like being a doctor, or like a attorney or something like that, right? So for me, these were always things that, honestly, I think if I was real, even though I was always a smart kid, 4.0, I was always a bad kid. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing me. Like I'm always gonna do me regardless. Like I'll excel, but if I feel like being boisterous, I'm gonna be boisterous. That's the
Mhm.
kind of day it is. And so I think going through that and going through whatever mess with identity, I came to a point where I didn't believe I belonged in these spaces. So the opportunities that came to me, I wouldn't take advantage of unless they came in the traditional way.
Yes. In a way that you would recognize and that you would feel comfortable to say that this is for me, this aligns with me.
Yeah.
And though I haven't felt imposter syndrome, I do understand that portion that you mentioned where it is recognizing, is this for me? Is this the opportunity? And how hard should I go? Assessing it, you know? And I have been in that place. I'm wondering, okay, I've said that I've wanted this, I've put this out into the universe, I've been intentional about it, but is this actually coming to fruition? And then when I get in that place, I'm like, let's go. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm all in until I feel very, very strongly that this is not for me. So that's
But
where I start from. I think I recognize it. This is for me
mhm.
until I run up against a roadblock or some impediment that makes me think, is it not for me, and reassess and reevaluate. You were saying,
Yes. So like I wanna bring a little, you feel me? I'm gonna stand up for all my imposter syndrome people, right?
please
You know what
do.
I'm saying? So I'm gonna, you feel me, snatch some edges as mine were snatched. But I think the truth is like I I couldn't do that because if you have imposter syndrome, like people say, I'll see it when I believe it. But the truth is, you'll believe it, like you'll see it when you believe it. It's completely switched. You can't
Yeah,
see certain things unless you already believe that they're there and they're able to be there, right? I was actually,
absolutely.
when I was driving Uber, because I had, so my tech journey, I was at FedEx office right out of college. I worked at FedEx office, aka Kinko's in Berkeley. I was living for free in Berkeley, me and my boys, because we were doing nonprofit work with inner city youth, and we were putting on our own events, we were funding our own stuff, and we just kept running into money issues. And I was all like, "Yo, we got to figure this out." And I was tired of like, honestly, bro, I was just tired of not being
Me too.
respected fully as a human. Like I was just tired. Like I gotta ask you, like when I can go do what I'm meant to do, which is to help people and uplift them and help these kids and give them brand new opportunities. Like I can't do that. Like that's what I'm really here to do. Like, and now I'm being limited by this, not getting paid enough, all these other things that we've all felt. And I said, there's a better way. There's tech here. Like, so I
Mhm.
quit my job. I drove Uber. Like
Both.
I didn't even know what to do. Like I was just all like, well, I'm gonna figure this out. But I'm not gonna do it unless my back's against the wall. I'm one of those people that when my back is against the wall, I'll
And the
make
feet to your fire, the fire to your feet, yes.
exactly. And so I
Yeah.
said, no, I'm gonna put myself in a situation where it's either success or failure. And that's it. Period. I didn't go on deferment for my student loans. I didn't do nothing. I said, I'm gonna keep my bills the same. No, I was serious. T, this was no joke for me.
So you're a gangster gangster.
You feel me?
Okay.
Like, yo, the more difficult and more impossible the situation, the more I'm gonna rise to it. And so you got to know yourself. We talked about that last week. You got to unlock
Yes.
yourself. And
Yes,
so
you have to hack yourself and unlock yourself, and those are some of the gems you dropped. Continue.
exactly. And so then I ended up driving Uber in the morning and in the evening because I knew that's when I would be able to pick up tech people to take them to work and drop them off. And I would talk to them in the meantime. Because I said, I
Mhm.
might not know a lot of things, but I know how to talk with people. So let
Ooh,
me figure this out. You feel me? And
yeah.
so I'm doing all this. I had gotten someone's car, the COO of a startup. He said,
Was he a
call
young bull?
young bull. He was a young bull. Actually, young bull was all like, young bull was like 22, dropped out of college, started his own startup, went to this one. And then
Founders are dropouts. Someone told me that today. I was like, I'm finna put that on a
that's
hoodie.
it really
Founders
was.
are dropouts.
We were all dropouts. And like, which says something about our current system, but let me not, I digress.
Yes.
And then like Brad was all like, hey, hit me up. I never hit him because I didn't believe it, so I couldn't see it. T. And again, long story, a couple months later, I meet this other gentleman. And mind
Oh,
you,
not a young bull.
not a young bull, young gentleman, you hear me? And so we talking about getting into tech and being a person of color. This was a brother, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, how did you come from where you came from? Tells me his whole story. He doesn't go to church. I don't call him. I go to another event I did not want to go to that I have to put on this event for these kids. Guess who's there? This same gentleman
Mhm.
who, again, just like, yeah, I don't believe in church at all. I just want my kid to be around like other kids. And he's all like, yeah, like my wife couldn't come, so I came. And we end up chopping up for 2 or 3 hours. He's all like, Brett, I'm finna call you. Like, I'm not gonna wait for you to call me. I'm finna call you because
Yeah.
that's what community does. When
Yes.
you're not willing to stay activated or stay active, community drags you along because that's what it does. We're like, no, no,
It's
no, you
all
got
support.
to.
By hella high water, we
Yeah,
will drag you there. We will uplift you and drag
Come
you.
on.
We will support you and hold you accountable for all
Yes.
of your actions and reactions. And the universe was telling you several times, young bull, that's you, get moving,
Come
get
on.
intentional.
Come on.
And then the community had to come out there and literally drag you across the finish line. And that's what we do.
Wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. And that's like, and I think that's what we miss. And that's what I love about, like, to bring it to CK, like what we're doing, whether it's our CK
PK
live,
is?
career karma. You right, my bad. See, and that's the other thing in tech. We talk in acronyms sometimes, which is like mad unnecessary. But like what we do at Career Karma is the same with with our Career Karma live events, our CK live events. Whoa, that's really cool. I love that. So with our Career Karma live events, with our discussion boards, with our squads, which we are my team. For me, I'll be in it. I'm starting my own personal squad. So is my team. But we drag people along. We say, what are you trying to do? Where are you trying to be? And let me hold you accountable to yourself and build a support system around you. Because the reality is this, T, you are not who you are. You are who you are because of everyone that has come before you, right? And I am who
Absolutely.
I am because of everyone that has come before me. So I'm not standing here as one person. I'm standing here with the strength of my community and my ancestors that paved the way for me to be here.
Exactly, and that's why I have never felt imposter syndrome because I to think about all the ancestors that had to come together for me to even be born. Like that's crazy.
Mhm.
For me, I mean, it's one thing if you are unsure and you feel some doubt about where you are going and how you're going to get there. I understand that. But that's why they say life is a present like you have today. Carpe diem. I just don't personally have time to be so scared or
Mhm.
so worried about what's next because I didn't I gotta be frank. I didn't even ask to be born, but I'm really excited that I was. You know, like if you can't tell, I'm really excited. So every day is my own to choose what I do, how I'm gonna do it, who I'm gonna spend it with. And I gotta tell you, I there's no place else I'd rather be than with you, Rebel, and everyone that's watching and everyone that will watch the live stream later on because this is where I'm supposed to be. And I don't always need to feel that 100%, you know? If I feel a 1%, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I feel that. And I think what's so beautiful about that is, like, that's where we all want to be, right? And that last part where you said, I don't always feel this, but I can at least feel it to the little bit that I do. I'm gonna hold on to that and I'm gonna keep it pushing,
Yeah.
right?
As
Like,
long as it's above a 0, then let's go.
come on, come on. And even if I'll say this, even if it is, how can you get it back up, right?
Exactly.
Because there are many days I don't think, if I'm honest, I don't think purpose and feelings are always aligned. They've never
No,
been in my life.
I always say that all feelings are valid, but not all feelings are true, you know? Like what you're feeling right now in this moment or in any moment, it's valid because you are experiencing it. But is it true? You know, are you worthless? Are you lacking? Are you not working hard enough? No, I don't believe that. And sometimes you just have to do just that and say, "Nope, I don't believe this feeling," and move through it. So for me, I any day that isn't at 0 and no days at 0 because 0 to me is equivalent to inertia. And there's
Mhm.
no way that I'm going to be still unless I have to be still in transitions, because I'm not manic. I'm not someone who self mutilates in my thoughts or in my actions. So there are times when I need to be still and I need to be at 0 because I cannot, because I should not make a move left, right, front, back, indifferent. But as my mom says, here's a gem: backward never, forward ever.
Mm,
Life
mm,
is about forward movement, forward momentum. And every day you get to decide how you spend that time, with whom you spend that time, and creating that forward momentum. And I know that the way I spend my time is building community.
mm.
I could care less if one person were here or 100 or 1,000. Let's get there though.
Yeah, yeah,
I know that this is a time that I need to spend building community because there are people that would like to have community, would like to be a part of, would like to be responsible, like to be accountable, and like connection. So here I am doing my part, you know?
yeah,
So back to what you were saying, that's
yeah,
community. That's
yeah.
right. Thank you for everyone in the chat.
I think, and what I'll add on to that is
Mhm.
um, something that's, I think, so so pivotal, because I love everything you said, and I fully agree with it. I would actually challenge this, because for me, I am that person who like has those thoughts and has to fight that fight. And
Yeah.
I tell myself, I just question it. Like, I think a lot of times what we feel or what we think we do take is true, but it's like, no, question where it comes from.
Yeah.
Like, is that accurate or is that not? And really take the time to do the work. I Something I had said to you, and I guess I'll say it here, right?
Mhm.
Is a lot of us are kind of like, and we talked about this, like the book Frankenstein, right? Like,
Yes.
Dr. Frankenstein had misheard a statement about, you know what I'm saying? I think his mother had passed and misheard a statement. And because of that, made a beast that is Frankenstein's monster. A lot
Yeah.
of us make monsters of our lives from things we misheard, misunderstood, or
Yeah.
weren't supposed to hear, or were said in falseness. And we
Yeah.
take that as a truth that we've held on to, and we
Mhm.
create monsters of our lives. And I know something that has helped me in redefining how I see life is I don't define perfection as being whole. I don't define it
Mm.
as boom,
Oh,
it's perfection, it's stainless, or it's like it's whatever, it's like perfect, right? I don't
yeah.
define it as that. I define perfection as continually trying and continually striving for. The perfection and the achievement is in the striving, right? And the
Yes.
crazy part is like, even if you look at like research now about dopamine, they say dopamine is not, you don't achieve dopamine when you get the carrot. You achieve dopamine in the striving for the carrot.
Yeah.
So everything is in the striving. And so sometimes I think we have to remember that while we try to apply for jobs and don't we hear anything back, as we kind of continue in the process after we get out of the job training program, the boot camp, whatever it may be. It's like, remember, you are perfect, you have what you need, keep pushing and keep striving and build that community. You know what I'm saying? Like, man,
When
I
you
already believe in
lean in, I know what you mean. Yes.
I'll be leaning in, I'll be leaning in
You
wholeheartedly.
feel him? Do y'all feel him? Because he's in that thing.
I'm in it because T, like, this changed my life. Like,
Mhm.
the crazy part is, I remember I took a trip I couldn't afford. I don't know how many of us been there.
Not
First
me,
of all,
but go ahead.
I visited your neighborhood. I was all up in New York before I went to,
Brooklyn. Oh,
it wasn't a Europe. I came back with $6 in my pocket, T. $6.
I'm happy you had anything over 5.
Me too. I was broke. I was struggling. But now in tech, now I'm at a place where I'm blessed to be able to be like my parents. I never even told this to people I'm close with. You know what I'm saying? So this is that real tea we spilling. My parents bought a brand new. They bought a bistro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my family. So
Congrats.
they bought one up in this region, a little bit past Santa Rosa. And so they're like, yo, we're kind of moving out there. We want to figure something out. Now we done teamed up, and I was able to get a house for my parents so they could be out there and they be posted up. Life is different, T. Like, when I'm telling you, what does tech give you? My little sister
Options.
is in
I'm
Europe.
sorry. Before we move on to your
Yeah,
lovely little sister,
yeah.
are you finna host the IRL event after Omicron? Because I
Yo,
will get on the plane for that. I'm just saying.
slide,
We got a
slide
house,
through.
y'all.
You dig me? Slide
IRL
through.
in real life, just in
You know what?
case.
I wish I had brought like a picture, but we got the whole view of like the lake. It's gorgeous. It's
Okay, now
gorgeous.
you saying go ahead to your little
Now
sister.
I'm flexing a little bit. It's unnecessary. Let me stop. Let me stop. But I think like another part is like my little sister is abroad. You feel me?
Mhm.
And now when she went out there, not only am I blessed, because I love credit cards and all this fancy stuff, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I got me a nice little travel card. I put my sister on as a
Authorized user, baby.
authorized user. And it's crazy because, like, first point, she really using it. I didn't expect that. Like, I didn't grow up with money. So I didn't know, like, you could do these things. But she out here using it. And I'm all like, I'm about to text her. But not look at my bank account. I'm all like, I don't need to text her. She can enjoy herself.
I
Like,
need
she
to
out
borrow a dollar. Let's talk after this, okay? I got I got a few places I want to go, but moving on, I really do love that you gave us a deep dive into your life and showing how transformative being in the tech industry has been for you. You've been able to be the type of son, brother, and I know that you're partner that you want to be. Maybe that's the next place that you're going in your tale, and it's really great because I think sometimes people get consumed in who they are and who they want to show up to be in their professional lives, and then forget that you are so much more outside of work to the people that love and support you, and they need you too. So you have to reserve, I think, more of yourself for the life you have outside of the work than
Yeah.
the life you have at work. I understand that it's a complementary relationship, but the fact that you understand that being in tech has allowed you to be who you want to be, to support and benefit the ones that you love, that is, I think that's inspirational, because I think a lot of people are thinking about that transformation for themselves. Whether you are a parent or whether you are a caretaker, that is a part of your identity that doesn't always show up at work. There are people that are raising children, there are people that are supporting parents, there are people that are supporting siblings. They're people that are multifaceted and multidimensional, that are so much more than who they are at work. And work is a tool or the implement for them to live the lives that they want to live. And I'm happy to know that you are actually living your life. You're not just living to work, but you are living your life, and you are sharing your blessings with those that you love. You don't gotta love me, but I need to borrow a dollar. I don't need it now, but we can talk later. Until LinkedIn sponsors me, somebody has to, okay? It's a lot of work to invite all of y'all to
Yeah.
live stream, create this, set this up. We'll talk. But
We'll
yes.
talk. We'll talk. We're gonna talk after. But I think and I think that is the truth. Like where being in tech and it's not easy. It took a lot, and I had to put myself in a situation where, like, yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it's all pretty now, but there was a time when, like, and look, I'm prideful, and tech took that away too. That's a whole nother story. But like, I'm prideful, and like, I had to get to the point where I was down bad. I had to call my folks and be like, hey, I can't make my car payment this month. I need to drive to Southern California, go do the speaking gig, and I don't even got money for gas.
Yeah.
Like I was down bad.
Was that after you went in the trip and you came back with the $6 or before?
That's
Moving
smooth
along.
after.
You want to spill the tea. You let us hear. Okay.
That was after. I'm not even going cap. That was after. But I got that. I got the New York ticket for super cheap because I flew from Sac to Jersey. Okay, less than 200.
Understood.
Throw that out there. But I think
Understood.
the truth is, it's like I was down bad, and if like being in tech, it didn't only change my life. I think sometimes we think of this selfishly, even when we're on the journey, and not even selfish in a bad way, but like you don't understand the full impact, right? Tech changed my life, changed my family's life. I'm talking to my little cousins about tech, and as they're looking at like the future and like when they graduate high school, getting into high school. But tech changed the life of my friends. Like I was one of the first people in my actual friend group to get into tech, and now I got two or three of them that are already in tech. They went through reskilling programs, hopped on CK, went through the thing. Now they're working in tech, and now it changed their lives and their families' lives. You know what I'm saying? Because again, community oriented and working within community, they're like, yo, look, I'm gonna hold down everybody in my family. And
Mhm.
now it's like it's changing the game, T. Like, but I think backwards, all like, man, if I had given up a year in, or if I had just refused to believe in myself and like all the amazingness that I am, because you're right, all of us, you know how hard it is to get here. You know how hard it is, and I just mean get here on Earth. I'm not even talking about tech
Yes.
on
Yes.
Earth. Like you reminded me, it's like a 1 in a billion chance. Like you know what I'm saying? I could have been someone completely different, but
If
I'm
if
here.
if anything had changed, you wouldn't be who you are today. If anything was different, and that is why community is so important. I understand that not everyone has parents, people that we assume are supposed to provide for us, protect us. Some people don't, and some people don't have parents for various reasons. So that foundation, but it is more than that. In life, I've realized that you need at least one person that says you are doing a great job, keep it up, or you are nope, cut it out.
Yeah.
you know Cut it out, please.
Yeah.
And I want to be that for
Yeah.
someone. You want to be that for someone. I want to jump into your DMs and say, "How's it going today?" You know,
Yeah.
because we have to remember that life is a transition, you know? You were just talking about being down bad after that trip, trying to act like you were responsible. Oh, I got a cheap ticket because I went to New Jersey, which is a state next door to New York, bordering it. It's whatever. You want to act responsible. That's neither here nor there. But I'm just simply saying that that's why it's a journey. It's not one day you figure it out, you've amassed everything, because there's always change, there's always shift, there are constantly paradigm shifts that you go through if you are, I don't even want to say lucky enough, but fortunate enough to have a long life, you know, to have a life where you progress from childhood into adulthood, into middle age, into being an elder. Like, this is a part of it. You will get knocked down, and knocked down is respective to who you are and how you are. What, like they say, what someone's trash is another person's treasure, vice versa. But someone's hard is another person's eh, you know, and someone's easy is another person's but
Mhm.
like it's always a transition, and that is why we have to foster and maintain community, and we have to give back, because today for me, tomorrow for you, or today for you, tomorrow for me. This is just what it is. So don't stop. Don't stop giving back. Don't stop on your journey, but take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to, as I like to say, zoom out and see all that you've achieved, all that you've acquired, if acquisition is important to you, all that you have accomplished, you know, and then keep moving forward, because what? Forward ever, backward never. Go,
Come on.
mommy.
Come
Go,
on.
mom.
Okay. I think, man, I don't, can we just close it down after that? I don't know. We
No,
just
no, 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 no. That's not how
I
this
think,
works, sir. That's not how this works.
something you made me think about, right? We talk about like, so A, tap into community. First off, like if you that has not been clear these past 3 segments, I have failed you. I'm sorry I didn't answer T's questions properly, but like
That's on him.
community, that's on me. That's on me. I'll take it. I'll take it. Community is key because like that's what keeps you going. And no one does anything. Can I be real with y'all? When I got into tech,
Please.
bruh, like T spilt, you feel me? I got into there and I was so unimpressed by the people I was surrounded by. Like, I'm so sorry. I mean, no disrespect. CK is different. My past company is different. All my past companies, I don't know, maybe who's listening. But I think that, like, I think the truth is that's like when I first got into tech, some of the people I was with, deeply unimpressive to me. And it's the same thing that happened to me when I went to go visit my cousin who went to Berkeley, was in a co-op, and I went to go visit these Berkeley students, and some of them were just deeply unimpressive to me. I think we build things up in our minds and we're like, no, like you need to stop doubting you're good enough. You push yourself down and you lift others up. No, like stop. All of your skill is useful. No one has your experience and your perspective, whether that's in software engineering, data science, tech sales, like product management, whatever it is, when you're asking these questions, trying to solve these issues, your perspective is key because it's the only perspective, your perspective of the world. No one else can see it like you.
Yes.
And that right there is so powerful.
He's leaning in, people. Pay attention. He's leaning
Man,
in. And I don't know if you noticed, but he's not wearing a blazer over this shirt, and the top button is open. So this is relaxed rebel. He was being super professional rebel before. This is relaxed rebel. And before we go any further, I really want to go ahead and answer a question that is in our chat. Wendy Francois went ahead and wrote, sorry about that. Wendy went ahead and wrote, um, oh, wrong one. Pardon me. Perdoname. Perdoname once again. Can you guys share tips on how to find your own tribe or community? Absolutely. And we have, and we need to continue to do that because that's what this chat is all about. Now, once again, here on LinkedIn, you should always search for keywords specific and respective to your area of interest. If you're interested in product management, just go in the search bar and type in product management. Right from there, you will get a list in a menu bar right below the search that will say posts, that will say jobs, that will say groups. Look for the groups that are specific and respective to product management and follow those groups. Invite yourself or ask to go ahead and get acceptance to those groups. Not only that, there are hashtags associated with product management, and you'll start to see that in the post and follow those posts because people who are experts, subject matter experts, or everywhere on their journey, whether they're novice or newbies to that respective field, product management, or they are heads of departments, um, they are CPOs, chief product officers, they will be posting. And when they post, you'll all of that will come to your feed, as well as we've spoken about CK or Career Karma, which I really think is doing an impressive job of creating community for those people that are specifically looking for tech boot camps to upskill and to reskill. And there is a great community there and a growing community of over 200,000 people. That's pretty big, and there's sub communities. And also, I'm a big proponent of groups here on LinkedIn. Start your own group. If you have a perspective, you have a focus, start your own group. I will be following up in a post inviting y'all to a chat that I want to continue on the Career Karma community app. So I'm inviting y'all, and you can come through to my chat and listen into a live audio room and then go ahead and peruse the community there. Why not? Carpe diem today for you, tomorrow for you too. Why not? There's more than enough. There's abundance here on this planet, here in this world. So I hope that I have effectively answered your question, Wendy Francois. And here we go. Rebel, do you want to take a moment to also answer Wendy's question?
Yeah, I think you said a lot of great things. Definitely CK, we have squads, all of that. It's just kind of like groups. What I will add is this though, do everything there. And then something I think people forget is like participate. Like
Engage.
super simple,
Absolutely.
engage. Oh, that's the 10. I like that. That's $10 word.
That
Engage.
can be $100 word. No, I
Oh,
was
my
like,
bad. Okay, I'm sorry. $100. You know what I mean? You know your worth. I love it. But I think the thing is engage when you follow these things, whether you're in a squad, whether you're in a LinkedIn group, whether you're following a hashtag, engage, and then your community will be, you'll find your community, right? People will
yeah.
start engaging with you, and that's such a natural way. And then that could lead to then you creating a group or you like co-creating a group and something of that nature. But the easiest step is engage and don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I
Yes.
think what I've learned also is a lot of people in tech are extremely helpful. They're
Mhm.
a lot more helpful than I would have initially thought being on the outside looking in. But once you're in or you're trying to get in, people are so willing to give of their time or of their knowledge, and they're not most people, at least I should say, that I've met, they're not just
And
trying to
be considerate of the fact that they're giving up their time or they're giving their expertise. So
Mhm.
that's what we also recommend. Go ahead.
110%. But I think Wendy, if you do everything that you said and you engage, you'll easily find your community over time. Uh,
Yes, and I have to go back to LinkedIn because this is the platform that we are streaming on, and it is very important for me to remind people all the time that LinkedIn has 714 plus million professionals on this platform. It is worldwide. You don't know what you don't know, and there are people out here that have subject matter expertise on everything. Human beings like to learn, they like to know. And more than that, human beings share. We've been sharing since we've been scrolling on walls and caves. We're out here sharing on YouTube. Broadcast yourself. We're not sponsored by YouTube, but sponsor me. And we're sharing right here on LinkedIn because this is what human beings do. We share. So share yourself as well. Jump into those posts that you see come across your feed that people are interested in, things that you're interested in. Say, you know what, I appreciate this, I like this, just like you just did. Thank you both. And the name pronunciation, Francois. Francois. You're more than welcome. Engage,
yeah.
initiate when necessary. Engage, follow up, build your own, collaborate. We're
Oh.
coming to time, and your girl is a stickler. You
Yeah,
know,
hold on. So then let me say
I
this
have
super
that
quick.
that nice background music,
Yeah,
waiting
yeah.
music, and then the drama, 59 seconds, the countdown,
Uh-oh.
and then
Uh-oh.
I like to end on time because I'm so grateful for your time and I
Mhm.
respect it. So we didn't get too much into my journey into tech, but that will come. I'll
We gotta do
post it.
another one. We gotta do another one.
Excuse me. This is more about Rebel because I'm so grateful to him and his willingness and his generosity to share with us. And I will be following up because I'm going to have a Career Karma live audio room chat on community and more resources. And we'd love for you to stop in and join that. It's going to be this coming Thursday. I will leave all the information in an upcoming post on my page. And before we get out of here, Rebel, please talk to us. Share share with us. It's been so great to have you here and to learn from you and to collaborate with you. So talk to us.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for offering your time and doing all of this because this was all you. So I appreciate you for allowing me to be a part of it. And one quick last thing I will say, which I think we all know, but Wendy is, and for anybody else, be more interested in the other people than you are in yourself. Like when you're beginning to build a community, make it
Mhm.
all about others and them and the person you're speaking to, because we are all vain as people at the end of the day. Sorry, just not to be like,
It's
what I'm saying?
about contribution. How can you make a contribution?
That's you say things so much. I like how you say things to you.
I'm
I'm gonna
eloquent.
message you, and then I'm gonna say what you write to me.
Oh,
I
I
think
got you.
I'm just unfiltered. I didn't mean to be. I don't mean to be so raw all the time, but it's who I
And he
am.
hit us with the I was like, damn.
But I think the last thing I will say is there is a community out here for you, whomever you may be, whatever you're trying to achieve, wherever it is in tech, we got you. T's
Yeah,
got you. I
yeah,
got you. Whether and hop over to Career Karma, we got you in total. Like that's what we're here for. Like you know what
yeah.
I'm saying. That's what I came here for. Like
Yes,
I
and please connect with Rebel. Like
yeah
he is on all of the invites. He and I are first connections, but you and he may not be connected. And that is the first place you start. Initiate a relationship, Hit him up. If you're not sending him a connection request, then what are you doing?
yeah,
What? You know?
and put a
And
message.
the longest journey begins with a single step. Sorry, continue, Rebel.
No, it's okay. I think like it's just I that's it. That's what we're gonna end on. The longest journey starts with a single step, a journey of 1,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Yeah.
take your first step. This is worth it. This has transformed, I would say, both of our lives, and the lives, honestly, of even my personal community outside of work. So if you're looking to change your life, but not just your life, those of the people that you love and the people that you kind of like, hop into tech. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be real. Okay. Not all, you know what I'm saying? We don't love all flavors, but hop into tech. There's amazing opportunity here. We're building the future. And the truth is,
Yes,
we need your perspective. Like, we need
absolutely.
your perspective.
And being in tech means that you can be and make a contribution in a non-technical role. Don't let that stop you. Reach out to Rebel, reach out to me. I will help you find your inroads and find your people, help you establish your sub community within tech. And with that said, thank you for joining me and look out for more programming centered around upskilling and reskilling and creating your community. Bye, y'all.
Oh, see you, everybody.